Gold. Donning gold. Uganda, a landlocked country in East Africa, is famous for its beauty. Its flora and fauna, as well as a highly hospitable culture, make it a top tourism destination. But below that beauty are endowments of minerals that would leave one in awe. And one of those minerals is gold. Gold flows by river bases in Karamoja and Buhweju. It hides in rocks of Mubende and Namayingo, lying there in the earth's crust, waiting to be unearthed. From the 20th century to date, most of the gold mining in Uganda has been carried out by artisanal small-scale gold miners. With basic tools, men, women, and even children descend on hills and valleys in search of that glittering but elusive reddish-yellow stone.
Gold mining has been reported since the colonial times in the areas of Buhweju, Bushenyi, and Ibanda districts in western Uganda, and areas of Busia in eastern Uganda, and then areas of Chisita in Mubende district. As you can see, these yellow dots represent gold. There was a lot of mining here, and right now you can go and find abandoned mines or artisanal workings that were abandoned. And basically, those days there was a lot of alluvial gold. That is the gold in the rivers, and they used to. It is easily can be easily processed because it's a low-cost activity. The water is there already in the river, so people just go in the river and pan. Of course, they used to use our local people to pan for them. For them, they get the gold. And by then it was abundant, but right now most of those deposits are depleted.
From the 1960s, when the British handed Uganda independence until just recently, artisanal small-scale gold mining remained on a small scale because the British left with their management knowledge, and soon after that, Uganda entered a long spell of political instability. Now, welcome to the gold rush. 17-year-old Maurice Mwento is among the laborers at this tunnel belonging to Ivan Kauma in Mubende district. Every day, Maurice and colleagues enter this tunnel some hundreds of feet beneath the surface to cut through rocks in search of gold.
The reason why I dug here, it is because of this big vein. So in that vein, there is a line of gold. I followed it, but it wasn't all that rich as it is now. When I dug, I reached around, it is 30, it is around 10, it is around 20 meters. Then the vein disappeared. It landed on a hard rock. I took a cross-cut. I cross-cut, then went down. And going down, then I landed another vein. That vein was a little bit richer than this one.
Buhweju in western Uganda is beautiful to the eye. Beneath that beauty are also deposits of minerals, including gold. Chiza works with his wife here in a gold mine.
Okutimba namara emyaka 10 kutimba gold kandi experience kinyine no kumanya kutimba omubyina nkiya mu mushenyi kandi nkagutoma mu byoma nkakurashinga nkabasa kugwiyamu gold kugiyamu munini masako inkoesa machire kukwata gold.
Every day there are new entrants in the mines, women, men, children. Some come empty-handed to work, others come to invest. A miner's camp is a city of sorts. Every sort of business you can think of is here. With the magic power of gold, everyone here dreams of someday becoming an instant millionaire.
Ebanga miracle notuka mu kifo notandika okufuna kasente wano solo kujja tuna wade ne 10 noyimukirawo kubanga wano boogenda mu mpuku bofuluma ngo zene gold bwe malo okwoza bamperawo sente zange cash kasoli agenda n'apima ngangira bwati
kati mu Kinyanga muno ku buwanvu bwe kiriko nkozesa abakozi balimu 8 nti bwe bayingira ku makya ku ssaawa 3 ez'okumakya ssaawa 3 baba bajja kuvaayo enkya ku makya ssaawa 12 nti tukola 24 hours bwe tumala okusima hours ziri batandika okutambula ku ssaawa 8 ogw'ekiro ssaawa zigenda okuwera 12 ssaawa emu ey'okumakya nga batuuse wano so distance okuva wansi eri nga baleeta hours ezo batwalira essaawa mmeka 4 okuva wansi nga bazze beetisse.
For those in the camps, the main thing is money. But living and working in a gold mine is a lot more than money. It can be risky, it can be dangerous.
Mines are naturally hazardous mines. The reason being, you go into the belly of the earth, and to do so, you must be destroying some structures to go underground. First of all, in the shaft, and then you make tunnels, maybe, to go across to where the minerals are. Now, because you don't know fully the structure of the earth where you are digging, that is already a big safety issue. So that's one. Secondly, because you are destroying rocks or earth, there is generally generation of dust. Now, when it comes to the dust, depending on the type of mineral you are extracting, one of the main factors is how much of the silica is there in that dust. And that silica on its own is responsible for the big part of the lung disease of the miners.
There are over 20,000 artisanal gold miners in Uganda, most of them doing it illegally.
You have Chinese, you have Tanzanians, Congolese and Rwandese all joining the industry. Most of the gold, because the artisanal miners are not formalized, or we don't know them, most of the gold, of course, is sold to people that we don't know. And as you know, gold is a very, for example, a kilo is not even a palm full. It can easily be smuggled out of the country because our borders are a bit porous. So government is losing a lot of revenue.
At Ivan's mine, the day for the common laborer has abruptly come to an end. As the miners were following a vein, they broke into another person's tunnel.
Manyaga nga bampita Mwindo Moresi ekyanzije kasese kuja kunonya sente naja mu Kirombe tuli wano tuli mu kusima gold tunonya sente naye tuzifuna si nyingi kale tuli awo tukweyiya mpola mpola ebirungi ebyenfunya mu kusima gold kubanga tumusima nenfuna mu sente zange ningende waka nenzikola mu byokola ki ebisanidde kuzikozesebwa. Ninayo embuzi zange nazigula mu sente nazijja wano n'enkoko zange nziyina gye ziri. Kyensuubira okusima gold Katonda ayinza okumpa obugagga nga ndi mu kumusima nenfuna sente.
From these pits, from these rocks, from this dust, gold is picked. It moves through several stages to produce some of the sweetest items the world treasures. And some of these get back into Uganda to enhance our glamour.
We have about 3 levels of mining. We have the artisans. Basically, these are the people that go down in the pits, excavate those holes, it's called rat mining. And then after there, we have the small-scale mining group that comes in. Basically, they use mineral processing equipment like ball mills, and some others have started using cyanide. Then after that, we have the large-scale mining exploration and mining companies who basically use latest technology to explore and mine for gold.
The day has ended and Maurice has the night. In a typical mining camp, there is all that a city can offer in the dark.
In one of the mines, what is known as the Che Kampala, there are so many prostitutes who get involved in sexual behaviors that may not be good, and they end up transmitting HIV because many of them do not carry out protected sex.
Dangerous tunnels, lung-damaging dust, poor hygiene, child labor, a risky lifestyle are some of the challenges that characterize a gold mine in Uganda. But there is a silent killer, Mercury. To extract the gold from other ores, miners use mercury, which has adverse effects on human health and the environment. Mercury can be absorbed into the body in several ways. Through the skin, it can be inhaled, or through food we eat, including fish. While there, it causes brain damage, kidney failure, weaknesses in the immune system, and causes loss of vision, among other effects. Quantities in a single use may look small. Multiply that by thousands of times a year per miner, then thousands of miners, and you'll see the real danger.
Mercury is the only metal which is liquid. But beyond that, mercury can come in the form of compounds, either inorganic or organic compounds. And depending on the nature of the mercury, in which form the mercury is, it may have different effects. When it is metallic mercury, the metallic mercury, it will have effects on the kidney, it will have effects also on the brain. Now, the inorganic mercury, which will be like mercury chloride, mercury something, again, its effect will be mainly on the kidney, maybe also on the liver, because the liver is the clearing house for the whole of the body. Now, the organic ones are the ones where you have a lot of carbon things. So like methyl, mercury, and so on. Now, that one tends to go for the brain. And it is one of the more dangerous bits which are more likely to be recognized. So now, in the case of mercury, which is methyl, and if it goes into the food chain, like if it goes into the water, and then into the water it goes into like the plankton or the water weeds which the fish feed on, then that fish which eats that will incorporate the methyl mercury in its flesh, and the people who eat that fish in substantive quantities will get mercury poisoning of the methyl type, which attacks the brain.
The communities go on with the use of mercury without using any protective gear. They do not mind where they dispose of the mercury. They also do not mind not even to take care of their hands when they are eating, because one will handle mercury and in the next minute he's eating food.
It is estimated that the world has between 10 and 15 million artisanal small-scale gold miners, most of them using mercury and contributing about 15% of the world's gold, but also producing the largest portion of mercury pollution after burning fossil fuels. The Minamata Convention on Mercury, to which Uganda is signatory, seeks to protect human health and the environment from the adverse effects of mercury. Key highlights of the convention include a ban on new mercury mines, the phase-out of existing ones, phase-out and phase-down of mercury use in a number of products and processes, countermeasures to emission to air and on release to land and water, and regulation of the informal sector of artisanal and small-scale gold mining. In that regard, the Ugandan National Association of Community and Occupational Health, the National Association of Professional Environmentalists, the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, working with NGOs, Ban Toxics from the Philippines and Dialogos from Denmark, are now implementing what is known as the mercury-free gold mining project.
Basically, what we are trying to do is how can we move from using mercury in mining to something safer.
As part of the project, the partners recently conducted a training of trainers for miners to shift from using mercury to the gravity concentration method using borax as a purifier, borrowing a leaf from the Philippines.
This is a magnet. The purpose of this magnet to magnetate the iron and also the pyrites in order that our gold become high quality, the high carats. We use a big magnet to magnetate the iron because that kind of magnet, a small one, is not very effective. It cannot carry the big iron. The melting point of gold is 1068 Fahrenheit, but this is not enough.
Ivan and Mark are among those who came to learn.
ate ngera bw'otunuulira recovery ekyo tujjamu okusinga kiringa gyotwa tukozesa ku mercury recovery yakino eri waggulu nnyo ate ngera abantu basigala nga bali balamu.
So the gravity concentration method lies on the principle of the law of gravity. So you know that which object has the high density, it is the first object to drop in the ground. So like a tissue and an apple. So the apple should go first, then the tissue. So it'll reach the ground first compared to tissue. It's just like that. So gold, compared to other minerals in the ore, is the heaviest metal that you can extract from the ore. So the alternative is the gravity concentration method, not the borax. Borax is only an agent for smelting gold, but the method is the gravity concentration method.
The thing with this method is as well that it produces much purer gold. So they extract 70% of the gold from the ore, where mercury only extracts 30%. We have already worked with mercury-free gold mining in the Philippines. And in the Philippines, we have worked with Ban Toxics, and they have been very successful in 3 mines in different areas in the Philippines.
While the miners continue to dig and penetrate the earth to produce gold, not many end users have knowledge on how it is mined or processed.
Any woman would love to beautify herself. So that's why we buy earrings, nice watches, bangles and anklets to be attractive.
Have you been to the gold mines?
No, I've never been to gold mines.
So what do you know about the gold mines?
What do I know about gold mines?
Or have you heard about?
Yeah, I've ever heard, like they go, it's hard, like to find gold. That's what I hear, that's what I know. And maybe that's why it's very expensive and costly. I don't know.
I don't think anybody knows what skills it takes to get gold out of the ground. I would say that in Europe, if you use gold jewelry or if you buy gold jewelry, maybe it is like 1%, not even 0.5% maybe, who knows about how you extract the gold, where does the gold come from. And just not where does it come from, but what skills does it take to get it out, and what pollution is included in extracting the gold from the gold ore and from the mines. So there is a big potential in advocacy in Europe, in the States, in the Western world where a lot of gold is used, but also in the Eastern world where a lot of gold is produced and used, to sort of really promote that it should be well produced gold, maybe fair trade gold, because that would really show that, okay, you know where your gold is coming from, and you know that it is the people who have produced this, they have been looked after, they have been using security measures, they have been using boots when they extracted it, they have not been using mercury, they have not been using unhealthy methods to pollute the country when they have produced this gold.
UNACO, the Uganda National Association of Community and Occupational Health, has a motto of health for all and by all. So irrespective of where you are in Uganda, we think health is important to you. And in this case, we are looking at the miners. But also, UNACO is an organization which looks at information exchange, information dissemination, within another principle of thinking globally and acting locally. If something is good in the world, somewhere in the world, and it is good for the health of any group of people in Uganda, it is of importance to UNACO that we bring that to help our people in Uganda. And this is one of the examples of thinking globally and acting locally. And as mentioned, we have Denmark and the Philippines working with us.
We have experience with that it works with these things from Dialogos' side. And therefore Dialogos has been very happy to use the bentoxics from the Philippines, their skills together with ours, and then take it to Uganda and try to work it here. And we hope that the projects here in Uganda will be able to connect to other African countries, to the neighboring countries first, but basically to the whole of Africa, where there is sort of a rush at the moment in producing gold.